Hi, this is Ned Siegfried from Siegfried & Jensen. As proud sponsors of BeliefCast, we hope you are inspired by Todd's weekly podcasts, which contain so many courageous stories of recovery and personal growth. Remember, it's not what happened in the past that matters, it's what happens in the future. We invite you all to work hard and be optimistic about your future. Enjoy today's podcast.
Tiffany, welcome back to the show. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you so much. I love when you have me on, and I just love our conversations. So thank you for the welcome back.
Absolutely. Third time you've been on.
Third time.
Which is an awesome thing.
We're making this an annual tradition.
We're going to do this every year. So we just decided that. But thank you for all you do and for being here. And I'd like to also welcome everyone who's on the app and also listening to the BeliefCast, for believing in me and following me. I wouldn't be where I am today without you guys, so thank you for the support. And I take zero credit. It's amazing people like Tiffany who come on these shows and share some amazing things for all of us. I learned so much from my guests, and Tiffany's at the top of that list. She's been on a few times, like we said, and we're all blessed to have her here today. She's a seasoned speaker. She hosts her own high-level podcast. She's an international and national coach. And she is a leader among leaders, in my opinion. You really are. The way you carry yourself is phenomenal.
Oh, friend.
The list goes on and on. She's worked with, Franklin Covey, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, and Jack Canfield, creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And she's involved in so many things. She does courses. She does... Like I said, she speaks all over the place. She inspires not just women, which she has a huge following of women, but men as well. And I'm in that group. So, Tiffany, what a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. Can I just share something? I don't know where we're going to go today, but I have a inspirational
absolutely
download while you were speaking. Is one of the things that I just appreciate about you is how genuine you are. And I think just even seeing your heart and the tears in your eyes, but just to see that and to acknowledge that. And I think in a world that we live in, and I'm on a show, I'm on TV, I have all these various things. It's we always want to talk about success and what creates success and success. What creates sustainable success, because sustainable relationships and influence, you have it. It's being genuine. Because we live in a world today, it's where people want to just always focus on, what's popular, what's shiny, how many thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers do you have, what's the hot, shiny thing. But what stands the test of time in a life is look for who's genuine in your life and spend time with those people, because that will carry you through. And so when you reached out to me the first time a few years ago, and we have several mutual friends, and I'm back and I moved my schedule for you because you're just so dang genuine. And I just want to acknowledge that right out of the gate. But it's wherever we're going to go today is, I think, again, we live in just this world and there's a lot of noise. And it's when we come back to the things that fill the soul, that's how you create a life that's worth living and loving, right? It's what's the meat, the real stuff? There's a lot of bright, shiny everything, but what's the soul and that genuineness? And so as you think about your relationships this year, that's a great barometer. Is who's so genuine in my life? And they should get more prime time in your calendar. Right? I
love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Anyway, just wanted to share that out of the gate.
That means a lot to get a compliment from you. And I do try to do that. You
don't have to try. It's who you are.
That's true. And, for everyone who's watching and listening, I do struggle. I have my struggles like you all do. So I'm not going to pretend that I've got it all figured out, but rubbing shoulders with people like Tiffany and learning from you and the principles you've learned and lived by and you teach every day. And I can say the same compliment back. You're one of the most genuine people I've ever met. So I think we got a good synergy. So thank you for sharing that. I want people to get to know you just a little bit. I know you've been on a few times, but I think people, when they see you, man, it's man, this woman's so well put together. Look how successful she is. And kind of like those things where you were just kind of referring to. But you're also, you've been through some things. And just talk a little bit about how you got to here, and how you carry yourself in this way.
Oh, gosh. Well, like you just said, too, is that I'm still human. I'm still in this skin suit. Yeah. And so like I still have my own stuff I'm regularly working on, working through my own insecurities, my own self-doubt, my anxiety at time, being bothered when people drive really slow in the fast lane and I lose my like mind for a minute, you know. I mean, I'm still, let's just like still bring me into human. I'm still a human. But I would say, you know, I think a lot of grace, right? I think grace is not always again highlighted, and grace matched though with choice. And the willingness and the choosing is that I was having this coaching session this morning with a client of mine in Michigan, and we were talking about things, and, you know, why am I still, her question really was, why am I still where I'm at? And I need to uncover what this big issue is, or this big why. And I said, you know what, love? While there's so much value in the healing work and healing arts, and I've done those things and will continue to do those things, there's great value in therapy and counseling and coaching and energy healing. One of my mentors said to me once something that was like a huge light bulb, Todd, where he said, the why is the booby prize. Even if I figure out, why do I sometimes still have insecurity? Why do I sometimes feel like I'm still in the 8th grade? I did get braces since we last were together. So that might have something to do with it. I wore braces like in the 8th, 9th grade, and they're back on in my 40s. Well, hey, wear your retainer, get your wisdom teeth out. Okay. Just some side tips.
There you go. Yes.
No one tuned in for that. But sometimes I still feel like as a grown woman, my insecure 8th grade self will sometimes still come up. Right? Who's highly insecure. What do I look like? How do I sound? Oh my gosh, am I liked? Do I fit in? You know, all of those things. We're still these tender beings that are working things out. And I said to this client this morning, what my mentor taught me, the why is the booby prize. Meaning if she discovers, well, gosh, I had this experience, you know, when I was a child, or I had this thing. And while we have empathy for that, it ultimately comes to choice. It's who do you choose to be? And what do you choose to create? And I decided a long time ago, I got really clear that it was like, I want to be a value creator, a VC, right? Sometimes we hear VC and we think venture capitalist, which is great too. But it's to be someone, I'm not perfect at this, but it's the decision and it's the lighthouse for me. That's like, I want to be someone who adds value wherever I go. To everyone's life, where I'm at. Now, do I always live that? No. Are there times, again, like I'm still like working it out, or I have my judgments come up? For sure. But I think choice is really the trump card. And it comes down to that is we all have various upbringings. We all have different influences. But, you know, in American cinema, one of the things we love to watch is the rags to riches story. We see that theme played over time and time again. Or my life fell apart and I've rebuilt my life. You know, or whatnot. And regardless of our circumstances, well, they definitely influence us. I mean, we have to acknowledge that's true. The home you were born in, the neighborhood you were born into, right? Your race. I mean, I mean, there's things that, of course, like we're not playing dumb to that. But ultimately, it's the human soul. It's like you have the ability to make choice and changes. And so choosing, so at some level, I would say the combination of choice and grace, when you say, how'd you get here? Some of it's grace and God's doing and the universe. Like there's just things that you can't, like, I woke up today. I couldn't control that.
Wow.
Grace. I woke up today. Gotcha. Now what I do with the day, I have a lot of influence too with my choices, my thoughts, what I surround myself with, what I read, what I listen to, what I put in my body. Which, by the way, this morning, can I just reveal this? Because I can think this is good balance. Is I did a workout this morning, and then I made bacon and eggs, high protein, right? Because I'm on high protein and more weight lifting and all that. And then it was my birthday recently, and I have birthday cake in the fridge. So I legit like bacon, eggs, and a huge piece of chocolate birthday cake was breakfast today.
That's a good combo.
I mean, balance, right?
Yeah, balance.
Right? Balance. But by grace, I woke up today. What I do with the day, there's still grace around it, but it's all up to you to choose. And so when you say, how'd you get here? Well, grace and choices.
Wow. Beautifully said. You know, I think we take that gift of choice for granted. Because I work with a lot of clients too, like you do, where they don't think they have a choice in the matter.
Right.
And I love what you said. I can choose who I want to be and how I carry myself in my life. And I just think we take that gift for granted. Choice is powerful. So I think it was Viktor Frankl that said this, so I apologize if I get this wrong. But he said between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space, we have our power to choose.
Yes.
And I just think we take it for granted how great that is that we have that, you know?
It's so true. And I think even sometimes if we're in challenging circumstances, maybe a relationship we're in is not going as well or as connected as we'd like, or, we're maybe not in our dream job.
Right.
And in some ways it's like, but we have choices in those environments or circumstances to, again, like, well, how am I going to show up for me? What am I going to read or choose to do or choose to focus on or find the good while I'm there? Sometimes I coach heavily in the entrepreneurial market. Most often people hire me to say, I want to grow a business, a platform, or a side hustle. But that entrepreneurial spirit is most of my clients. Some corporate, but most of them are more entrepreneurial by nature. Or if I'm in corporate, it's usually folks leading big companies, and we're still working with the entrepreneurialism of that.
Right.
And it's interesting, is sometimes people will say, gosh, I really want, my side hustle is not quite ready to replace my income, or I'm working at that, but I have this job and I just don't love it. But, I got to have the job to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Right? That circumstance.
Yeah.
And I just invite them to have a perspective reshift on that, which is choose to see that job currently as your business loan, that's helping you while you grow this thing.
I like that.
It's just the way of like feeling gratitude in the moment. Show up and add value there. Again, I'm a huge believer of add value in any environment.
Yeah.
Right? The way you treat the janitor and the way you treat the CEO hopefully are the exact same. Right? And it's like you just never know the environment you're in, but whatever your thing is and that you're up to in the world, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're in health and wellness or technology, or you're a fellow coach,
right,
is that we're all in the people business, right? And it's like show up and add value. That's your purpose, right? Wayne Dyer said that. He says your purpose is found in service. And so when you think, even if this isn't my quote dream job, or my relationship isn't necessarily where I want it to be, it's like, well, how will you show up? And show up there to add value. Show up to, put a better influence of energy in that space and choose into that. I know it's not always easy, but life isn't always easy.
Right.
And so it's choosing how will I show up and choosing into that thought process, I think makes a difference.
Yeah, I love that. And we do get to choose how we want to show up. And I've been in those jobs before where I was like, I hate this job.
Yeah, like this job
I can't
is
do
driving
it.
me nuts.
Yeah, I cannot do this. And when I focus on that, then it becomes a miserable place. I'm miserable. And so, I've had to learn that the hard way.
Well, misery is a great motivator for change, though.
Yeah, it is.
Where it's also like, okay, I better get my resume up or go back to school and take a class or build that side hustle income to a legit income, whatever. It's like pain is a great motivator for change.
Yeah. Can I share a little story on that? It just came to my mind right as you said this. I was working at a grocery store. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Hated it, if I could be honest with you. And I go show up for work, and half of our crew that was supposed to be there called in sick, didn't show up. And this truck backs up that we have to unload, and we usually have 5 or 6 people doing it. I'm the only person there. And when they open it up, it's back to school, and it's paper. It's just on these pallets that had tipped over.
Oh, shoot.
And so I had to unload hand by hand each piece of paper, and paper's heavy. And the whole time I was going, I was saying to myself, I'm going to school. I'm going back to school. I am not going to do this the rest of my life.
Interesting.
And so when you said that, that's what came to my mind. It's like, I had a moment like that. I did. Oh, yeah. I went and got my degree and things like that. So that just really hit me when you said that.
Well, sometimes we get a wake-up call, right? We have a health issue that flares up or something. And it's like, we're going to change our life because of that.
Yeah.
Or this case, like I'm miserable and frustrated. I'm going to create change. And so it's sometimes realizing that pain is shown up as in your life actually is a gift to be a catalyst for change.
Right.
You don't have to like it, though. I'm definitely not like, a Pollyanna, Mary Poppins, like, oh, yay, love that.
Yeah.
But it also is like, I am going to always bring us back home to truth, which is you're the creator of the quality of your life, and you can always make a new decision. Whether you choose to stay or go, or if you're going to be there, what you're going to choose to do within the space. Like, you always have choice within your own world.
Yeah.
And sometimes seeing that as like, that self-mastery. It was like, I'm not in my favorite circumstance, but it gives me opportunity to practice. Or it also is a catalyst, like you were saying, to motivate you, like, I'm going back to school.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. You did a post, I think it was this morning, it may have been last night, but I saw it this morning, and you were talking about consistency. And I've got something I want to share on that, but I want to hear your thoughts on that and what that means to you. You said it so simply, but yet so powerfully.
Yeah. The post or quote was simply this, is that everything you want is on the other side of consistency. right? And I just love how simplistic that is, right? And how empowering that is that I think when we release, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's what the one sentence was it doesn't have to be perfect, just keep at it.
Yeah.
And so whether someone's wanting to grow their social media channel or their podcast, just keep at it.
Yeah.
Right? You and I both have shows.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, your show, you've been around for even like double the time of mine. But there's just consistency.
Yeah. Right?
And it's like fitness and health and wellness for me is like, I have a personal mantra that I move my body every day. Now, sometimes that's 5 minutes on the yoga app, or it's, a 30-minute bike ride or a yoga session or a hike or whatever. But the commitment is what I'm after, and the consistency versus I got to do it perfect.
Right.
And so, like, I think about my very first live event, right, back in 2010.
Yeah.
So I'm 13 years in. I just celebrated my 13th year of business on January 4th.
Congratulations.
Yay,
That's amazing.
You. And I think about my very first live event I hosted, rented a hotel room, marketed it, shared it, and put it out there with my tiny little network at the time, and no email list and no website even at the time, but just put it out there. Invited people to come to my one-day workshop that we called Success Strategies. How's that for a sexy name?
Yeah. Like, whoa.
Yeah, I know, right? 3-ring binder, but I rented this little room and so forth. And I had 37 people sign up and come to my very first workshop.
That's impressive.
Yeah, until you know, behind the scenes, that 30 of those 37 people were my family and friends just doing me a major solid.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's like the willingness to go for it, the willingness to try, and what I call your willingness to take imperfect action, right?
Yeah.
Is that permission. And so you don't have to get it perfect. You just need to get it going.
Right.
And then the willingness to stay consistent. And so for me, my very first little workshop, really had about 7 signups, right? But hey, I've now hosted events that were my own events where I had more than 1,000 people in the room, fly around from all over the world. I've been on several other platforms with thousands and thousands of people in a room at a time. And I'd never have what I have today if I was still waiting for it to be perfect. And so the combination of those two principles together is, am I willing to take imperfect action? Like when you ask me, how'd you get where you're at? I've taken a lot of imperfect action.
Sure.
And that requires some courage, right? And it requires because sometimes you look like a ding dong. You put things out there, they work, they don't work. Can we say ding dong on the show?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah,
I think that's
okay.
G-rated. But it's just like the willingness to try and be consistent and continue to work at the crafts and continue to try things and put them out there.
Yeah.
But that consistency that's like the magic sauce.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm in the best shape of my life right now than I've ever been in.
Right.
And I mean, even we're talking like my 20s, whatever. And it's just like, because I've been consistent, not perfect.
Right.
Again, not every day is this major sweat session. I'm having chocolate cake at breakfast, clearly, right? Like it isn't about perfect. It's the consistency of habits that more often than not, I am eating pretty healthy and clean.
Right.
Right. Hydration, prioritizing my sleep, but moving my body regularly. It's like whatever the goal might be for any of us is consistency is your best friend.
Yeah.
Not perfection. Because that doesn't even exist.
Doesn't even exist.
Right. But giving yourself that permission, because too many people are doing what I call they're getting ready to get ready, 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 to change, to click publish, to write the book, to start the business, to do the thing, right? And it's like, release the perfectionism.
Yeah.
Go for it. Matched with then just keep practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well said. I love that.
Thank you.
It's funny because I'll get people calling me, and I mean, I know my podcast is doing well. I'm not dumb
Your
to that.
podcast rocks. Let's be honest, okay?
But I really don't walk around thinking that, if that makes sense. I'm not like, oh, my podcast rocks.
Like I'm a real big deal.
Yeah, I don't. And I have people call me, hey, call your podcast. How did it get so successful? And when I hear that, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah. And I just go, I'm just an average dude who just went for it.
Yeah.
And what I always say, I go, if I can just tell you one thing, I've just been consistent.
Yes.
I post one every week. I posted one every week for the last 6 years. That's all I've done. I haven't done anything special, just posted once a week. But then also I have to give credit for people like you who come on this show and share some amazing things. But That really hit me this morning when I saw your post about consistency. That really hit me because I thought, man, in so many areas of my life, when I can look back on success, it's because I was consistent, just like you said.
Well, I remember something about, there's a quote that's out there, I might butcher this a little bit, that says something like, if you're committed, you will get it. If you're consistent, you will keep it. Like, think about how many things, like sometimes our biggest challenge in life is the success we've achieved. We get lazy or we quit doing the things we used to do. Like, I think about relationships, right? Like the relationship rate of, and I've lived through some of this myself. It's like a lot of people get married, you know, or get into relationship, but staying in relationship. And not just staying to stay, but being in a thriving relationship is, are you consistently, again, not perfectly, because no partner, I'm not perfect, no one's perfect, but are you in a committed partnership where there's consistency of, hey, I'm making the effort, I'm doing the things that nourish the relationship. I'm doing the things that nourish the body, that nourish the business or the podcast. Is consistency, again, not perfection, but there's this like, hey, I'm doing things regularly. I mean, it's like you want to learn a new language, you totally can. Even no matter your age, it's just, am I regularly or consistently practicing that new language?
Exactly.
Right. So,
wow, that's awesome. So we mentioned this before. You do a lot of speaking events. What are some of the things that you learn from people? I know that's a big question because you hear from so many, but if you could maybe point out one or two things that you have gained and learned from listening to other people who have been to some of your events, what would it be?
Like what they've taken away from it?
Yeah, what they've taken away, Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of, I speak heavily on self-care and self-worth matched with then sales training, which is kind of an interesting combo, right? But it really is the inner work and then the skill set to create, but they're actually very well connected. And so not always at first glance, but you think about like how I feel in myself, how I show up for myself has everything to do with my energy and my self-confidence.
Okay.
And how much is energy or confidence influencing a sale? It's a huge influence,
big,
right? Because people want to be led by high energy, confident people. Again, not perfect, but that you're in that space. And so I'm in those two topics a lot. So when people are in an audience of mine, now some audiences were more heavily on the sales training and some were more in the personal growth, in a retreat, doing sound bowls and, dropping into all this deep personal growth. But those are the main takeaways but ultimately what happens in any room I'm in is the power of making decisions. Right. I love to lead out and end my keynotes with the question, what decisions do you need to make? Right? Because there's plenty of great content out there. You have a great show. There's so many great YouTube and podcasts and Audible books and books to read and seminars or coaching classes to go to. We're not lacking for content.
Right.
Where people are struggling, myself included at times, like am I applying it? And so I always love to bring people back to, not that you're surprised, but the choice is the ultimate piece here. Is what do you choose to do, choose to be, choose to create? And so I love to lead out with and end with that same thought or question, which is what decisions do you need to make? What actions do you need to take? And I love to even say, great coaching won't change your life. It can inspire you. But sometimes, and I'll say this language in an event, I'll be in Tampa, Florida next week on a stage, and I'll say it there too probably, is that if you've ever been to a personal development workshop, you've been to one, right? Right? And it's like, I've been to all various levels of them, even including Tony Robbins in Las Vegas. And I came home like whipped, oh my gosh, get me out of Las Vegas.
I bet.
Not for the casino or any of that. It was like Tony Robbins worked me over. But you get into a workshop seminar environment, or you hear something so inspiring on a podcast and you get what I call the hopium high, right? You're all hopped up on hopium, hope. Like, oh my gosh, this is so good. It's so good. It's so good. Which those are good things to do. Put yourself in environments that inspire that. That's a good thing to feel. But sustainability or true transformation in your life come from decision points. And here's a mindset thing I just invite any of you listening to consider is we often have a story that change takes a long time. Would you agree with that? Yeah. Change takes a long time. Possibly, yes. I get that there's certain habits and things to shift. We don't build a house overnight. We don't lose 50 pounds overnight. We don't put on 50 pounds overnight, right? It doesn't happen. But what happens in an instant is a decision. We say, I do, I'm done.
Yeah.
This starts today, this ends today, no more. Or this is the thing I'm all in for, I'm going for it. We click purchase, we do the thing, we start, we stop, we sign, we declare, happens instantaneously. You change your life in a moment, literally.
Yeah.
Now you might need time to back up that decision. Tell me about the emotion you're feeling, because it's all in your in your eyeballs. But can you relate to that? It's like probably moments. We all have them. If we go back, that was like, what was a crossroads moment where you made a different decision?
For sure.
Right.
For sure. So what I'm feeling is I remember the day, time, where I was when I decided I was done with my addiction.
Yeah.
I was done with alcohol and drugs. I knew it. And it was in an instant. I said, I'm done.
I'm done.
It's over.
I'm over.
There was no one there to influence me in that moment per se. I had help along the way, obviously, and, higher power things and stuff. But it was in that moment when I said, I'm done. And that's why I got emotional, because I relate with exactly what you're saying. It can happen on the spot.
Your emotion's contagious. But I just feel your heart, because I know that without being there in that moment for you, I know that to be true.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is that as humans, different than any other animal, is we have a consciousness to say, I can make a conscious decision. What are you choosing today? What are you choosing this year? What are you choosing this month?
Right.
Right? In my habits, my thinking, my thoughts, my behaviors, my choices, I'm getting help. This starts today. This stops today. I'm done. Right? And so it's just the awareness that we have stories about how hard change is and these things. And while I understand that, being in a human experience too, but actually your decisions happen momentarily, instantaneously, when true, again, decisions happen. And so that's why when you ask me, like, what is someone going to receive if they come to this event or that event or this thing and that thing, there is various content being taught, but where we always come home to is what decisions do you need to make?
Yeah, I love that.
Because each person's their own. So if if there's 100 people in a room, 100 people are having a different experience in the room based on their circumstances, their needs, their emotional situation, what's happening for them. And they can hear the similar content, but what decisions they make will heavily influence, of course, what they go on to create.
Yeah.
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 But awesome. Knowing you have a decision and a choice brings us back to empowerment.
Yeah. Love it.
Versus to you, like your path of like, feeling so powerless to an addiction and yet still in that moment of feeling and all of the ins and outs with that and the brokenness and the challenge and the highs and the lows, the relapse, all of the things that have happened.
Yeah.
You still were like, that little flicker of flame was, I can make a new decision.
Yep.
And you used it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I just love you.
You're making me cry here.
Together
I know.
In these conversations.
Yeah. No,
because you're again so genuine and you're willing to bring real. And that's what I think people are craving real.
Yeah.
Right? When you think about it, it's like, give me the real talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, thank you for sharing that. It's so beautiful. So you're doing all these amazing things. Again, I tell you this all the time. I love the way you carry and live your life. What gets you out of bed in the morning? Like what ignites you to do what you do?
It's a little harder to get out of the bed in the wintertime right now, right?
Yeah,
because it's all snuggled
perfect.
in, cozy. Yeah. Here in Utah where we live, we're getting a thriving winter, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah,
we need the water and I love to ski. So thank you,
sure.
Snow.
Yeah.
But I think like most people is that, there's part of me that just wants to be a smarty pants and be like, well, I need to get up and use the restroom, Todd. That gets me out of the bed in the morning.
Well, that gets me too.
But no, truly it's just like being part of things that matter. I think for all of us is we all need hope and we need purpose. And so whether you have littles in your home, that's not my case and scenario, but if you have kiddos in the house and it's like, I got to get up and take care of my little band of my crew and, to purpose and to work that you love and getting up. But my days typically start with some kind of what I call a morning ritual. And so I'm conscious to not start my day on my technology.
Yeah.
I'm conscious to more intentionally start my day in prayer, meditation, reading or listening to something nourishing. But at least what I call the sacred 10, the first 10 minutes of my day, starts with something that nourishes me. That helps me then fuel the purpose, the vision, the intention of like, I want to be connected and love and moving myself forward in that way. It's like, that to me is what helps me get moving.
Yeah.
And again, human too is certain commitments or things and desires and goals. And so it's like, it's all kind of blended together, but a combination of purpose and drive and commitments and things of that nature. But I think all of us, we are purpose-seeking humans. But again, your purpose is going to be found in some kind of service, whether it's the littles in your own home to, work and creations and other relationships, or being part of something. Like the work you're up to in the world is so meaningful, where you're helping other people in their journey of healing and holding them, in that space of like, come home to their truth and come back to what's, truly powerful.
Morning routine's big for me too, so I can relate with a lot with what you're saying.
What's one of your favorite things of your morning routine?
I like to say it like this: I pop out of bed like a piece of toast.
Do you really just get up and go?
Mind over mattress. Yeah. And when I stand up, I
love that. It's good.
I look at my mattress. I'm not getting back in there.
Yeah.
Nice try.
See, my mattress is a seductive, like cozy.
That's what I'm saying. I have to go. I have to fight it.
Can you just come back and read for a little while here, which I often do. But it's like, okay, I got to move on.
But one thing I've done, and I learned this from my mentors, get up and I stand up and I literally spread my arms out and I set my intent for the day.
I love this.
Like this morning was, I, Todd, am full of light, love, and energy. Today's going to be amazing. I don't hope for success today. I expect it. I demand it. And I swear I feel the tiredness leave my body, because I do want to hop back in there too. I'm the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's how I start my day. And then I do a thing called my hour of power. Yeah. And I call it my morning meds.
I love it.
It's my morning medication.
It's so true.
And it keeps me, and my mentor taught me this 30 plus years ago when I was just getting out of my addiction. He's like, you got to incorporate a morning routine. Mm-hmm. And so when I hear people talk morning routine, my ears perk up. Mm-hmm. And I love what you said. Stay off social media for a minute. Mm-hmm. Well, imagine,
I give this example sometimes and people kind of laugh about it, but it's like, and we've all done it, right? I've laid in bed and scrolled my phone and whatever. Yeah. But it's just starting your day that way or ending your day that way is not the most nourishing way to wake your brain up or put your brain to bed. Right. And so giving yourself a little bit of space to breathe through it. Yeah. But there's a lot of inspiring things happening on my phone in certain apps.
For sure.
You know, so, but it's also, imagine as if, let's say, you get up and your phone's the first thing in the day versus you and God. Something I heard years ago was meet with God before you meet with the world. And whatever God means to people watching or listening, and it's like, but some kind of prayer, meditation, or reading or listening to something that's nourishing. Is you start your day with your higher power or your higher purpose, and you nourish that first. Yeah. Then it's like, okay, now you move on to work and things. But I use this example sometimes is if you're still laying in bed and you check your phone and let's say there's 3 or 4 or 24 text messages. Imagine if those 4 to 24 people now just came into your bedroom. And that's just text. Right. Now you check your email and you got 17 emails over through the night or coming up first thing in the morning. Imagine those 17 people are now in your bedroom with the other 24. Wow. Now you scroll your Instagram and you catch 35 accounts, maybe more, because then you watch some stories and scroll. Yeah. Or and then Facebook and then LinkedIn. Imagine it's like some of you are starting your day with 100 people in your space.
Dang, I've never thought of it that way.
And that's a lot of energy because everything is energy. That's the gold mine. And so it's not even if you just did, well, I only did 10 minutes of that or 17 minutes of that, but every one of those interactions opened a browser in your brain. Wow. Energetically. Never thought even when you're scrolling fast, your mind's going fast enough to say, do I stop and read that? Oh, that's interesting too. Nope. Yeah. Your brain's making that fast decision, but you're still registering imagine again, it's like some of you are starting your day with 50 to 100 people and you haven't even got out of bed yet. And you're like, hey, come get my bedroom space. It's I was visualizing all these people surrounding my bed. Like, I don't want to talk to you guys right now. Yeah, give me some privacy. Let me have a little time. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Is that like before you meet with the world, is you first meet with yourself, your higher power. Yeah. And so I think that one of those personal boundaries, right, is a great way to then start your day. And what you did, thank you, because I think that's so powerful, is then you declared and reminded yourself of your purpose and your intention. Yep. Because sometimes you wake up and maybe you didn't get the best night of sleep or had an off dream or something, but you're still coming back to like, okay, I'm going to get grounded into choice. I'm going to affirm this. That gets me out of bed in the morning. Well, to be honest, I was nervous about today. I'm not kidding you. I don't know. You're such a pro at this. But that's why I set these intents, because it helps me get, okay, Todd, why are you worrying about this? Because I had to say the same thing. Why am I worrying about this? But I was. Yep. And I brought myself back to where I needed to be.
and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's these little things. Again, we're human, like we said.
But see, why I love this conversation is even that just blessed me, where I'm like, yeah, I need to out loud state my intention. I don't do this every day, but gratitude's part of my morning ritual at some point. Today I wrote it, right? I don't always write it in my journal. Today was a writing day. But I often will speak out, thank you, God, for another day. Again, I woke up by the grace of God.
Absolutely.
I did not control if I wake up or not.
Exactly.
And it was like, thank you.
Yeah.
And so it's some form of that, but I appreciate your intention of like how I'm going to show up today.
Yeah.
And just declaring that. That was a really powerful little gem that you just shared with all of us.
Thanks. There's a study out there. I can't cite it, and I apologize, but sports science has proven when you say something out loud, it's 10 times more powerful than if you think it. So I've always just like, I'm going to say it out loud. If I wake up the family with it, I don't care. I'm saying it out loud kind of thing. And it really, I feel the tiredness, like I said, leave my body. It's the most amazing. And I really don't, I'm not getting back in bed. I'm not doing it.
Reminder, what we could be here for 8 hours
I know.
is the power of the mind.
Yeah.
Because you just told your brain is that, again, I remember Joel Osteen once saying, you're feeling what you're thinking. Mm-hmm. And so oftentimes as humans, we all want feelings.
Yeah.
Feelings are what run the show of why you're doing or not doing something.
Yeah.
Right? When you say you want a goal, I want to make more money, I want to run a marathon. Do you really? Right? Some do, right? Mm-hmm. But you're after a feeling. Often in every goal and what you're wanting as humans, we're such feeling emotional creatures. Mm-hmm. And so often it's, again, coming back to, it's like you're feeling what you're thinking. And so you just told yourself, this is what I'm thinking. And you say, I literally feel the tiredness leave my body, because you mentally just put your brain in a thought pattern that said, I am this man. Yeah. I am this warrior on purpose. I am up to this work in the world today. Yeah. And those are powerful declarations. I love what you're sharing, though, is to say them out loud versus even just think them, or, it's like owning it is so powerful. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying all that. That's so beautiful. Man, we could talk for hours. We really, truly could. One last thing, and you've already said some amazing things, but if there's someone who's out there watching us, listening to us, that's struggling, they're in just a dark space right this moment, what's one thing maybe they could do? And I know you talk about what decisions do you want to make? What are you going to do now? But what could you tell that person that might be in that space right now?
I just say, like, my heart, so I'm just tuned into that, is like, I just say, hold on just a little longer. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. And I honestly, what I feel is like this motherly nurturing of like, come sit over on my lap, come to my house, get on the couch, I'll make you hot cocoa. Right. Let me just cuddle you, because I get that as a human. I've been her before. Yeah. Right? Or you've been him before, where it's like, I've been in those spots where it's really hard, it's really dark. Yeah. Hold on a little longer. Yeah. Right? If you can, go for a walk, move your body, call a close friend, read or watch something that nourishes you, pray, ask for divine help, right? Prayer is so powerful, Todd. Yeah. I was recently traveling internationally down to a orphanage in Mexico, and I, while traveling, misplaced, somehow went missing my purse with everything, my passport, my ID, all my credit cards, a favorite lip gloss, important to know, right?
Probably the most important thing in there.
No, but just losing, and it was a huge thing around surrender, but I dropped into very deep prayer, and just that all would be well, and that I still could, help be part of leading these volunteers for this mission that we were on for the week, the service mission. And everything worked out. And I messaged a couple of groups of friends who are real prayer partners, right? And just like you understand, like coming out of addiction, you had to have support and people you can call on when you need it. And it was like, the power of prayer is real. Yeah. I'm not saying not everyone, some people get triggered that prayer has to be to a certain religion, and it might be that, but it's bigger than that. It's whether you are in a church building or you're on a mountaintop, or you're in the slums or you're in a mansion, right? You don't have to be in a certain spot, but it's just like asking for help. And whether you say God, universe, Jesus, Buddha, the angels, but prayer's powerful. So the person that's like, I'm in a really tough spot, hold on a little longer. Yeah. There's goodness out there. You're loved. Your life matters. We need you. There's only one you that will ever be on the planet. Ever. You're not replaceable. Yeah. You're not. You can feel replaceable. You can feel discouraged. You can feel hopeless. Feelings are powerful. You can feel them, but your truth is you're powerful. You're loved. You have purpose.
Yeah.
If you're still alive, you still have purpose to be done.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, but again, get out in nature, fresh air, get some good sleep, reach out to trusted friends, right? Or even calling an anonymous hotline of getting some support, as well as absolutely activate prayer in your life.
Love that.
You know?
I don't know what else to say to that. That was powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me back.
You're amazing.
I adore you.
Oh,
you do
thank you.
such good work in the world.
Thank you.
And it's a true joy to know you.
I got to be honest, you've been on twice before, like we said.
Yeah.
But I've learned, someone asked me earlier today, do I listen to my podcast? I don't. But yours I have, because there's like principle after principle after nugget here, nugget there, and I've written those things down and I've incorporated it into my life. So thank you for being that light in my life. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for being a friend.
Yeah.
I bet everyone that knows you feels like they feel like Todd's best friend, because you make everyone feel so great.
I hope so.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. Well, there you go, guys. I told you this was going to be amazing. Tiffany Peterson. If you want to reach out to her and use her services and get to know her better, she has a website called tiffanyspeaks.com, and on Instagram it's Tiff Peterson. And please reach out to her. You can see what an amazing individual this person is. I know she'll reach back out to you and she'll help you any way she can. Hey, thanks for being here. I love you guys. Thanks for the support, and thank you for believing in me.